Good morning. I'd like to welcome you to a few minutes talk on meditation. Just finished my meditation. I did a little bit of yoga, some qigong, and I'm sitting quietly. And really, meditation is about sitting in a quiet room with all our needs filled, examining the neediness that's going on in the background. And if we can untie that neediness a little bit at a time, we can bring that part of our consciousness back to the present to sit with us in silence instead of always needing something. Every time that we make a decision that we need something, it's not a one-time thing. You know, it's always I've heard that saying that the body's a temple. But we should treat it that way. The body is a temple. And the things that we invite into the body affect consciousness. Over the years, I've kind of fooled around with that kind of thing. I've given up coffee, sugar, meat. Like I said, I eat once a day. No alcohol, that sort of thing. And I did find that each time I removed something from my diet, that I got quieter, particularly coffee. I used to be quite grumpy, hard to get along with. When I was working in different companies, I probably had a pretty bad reputation of being a bit of a jackass, you know. And I know when I first started stumbling onto it, I quit drinking coffee, and I noticed that my whole personality began to change. And that's when I began to experiment with removing things from my diet. But it's true, you know, the way that the mind works, we don't do things once, do we? If we like it, we want to keep doing it. You know, it's pretty hard to have one chip. You know, it's pretty hard to have cheesecake, or not to have cheesecake in the morning if it's lying around. That kind of thing. So we do have to be careful about what we invite into our body. That the body is a temple. And that into that temple we must only allow those things that increase peacefulness, the state of calmness. So diet does have a lot to do with it. And I'm not going to give anybody a diet, but it's something for you to think about. To think about, how does diet affect my meditation and my consciousness in general. And it's good to remember that with other people as well. You know, when we see people that are having trouble, that are grumpy, that are, you know, we tend to lash out at these types of people. But really, we have to remember that these people are on the same journey that we're on, and that we need to value that journey equally. This is part of peacefulness. You know, if you value your journey more than you value the journeys of others, everything will be in your way. I've often used the example of going to the grocery store to get groceries. You know, if you are on that journey of getting groceries and your concentration is on your journey, then everyone in that grocery store seems to be in your way, cutting you off, going too slow. You're standing in front of the eggs when you're trying to get to them, right? And it tends to make us frustrated. The trick to not getting into that state of mind is to love all journeys equally. To love all journeys equally. Even on the inside, you know, our consciousness is on a journey. You know, many of them are conflicting with each other. But we have to love all these journeys equally. But if you do it properly, it's like loving all directions equally. If you love going north, south, east, west equally, it holds you in spot, right? It holds you in spot. It's only when you love going north more than going south that you go north. It's only when you like going west more than going east that you start to move. But if you love all things equally, it holds you in a state of silence, a state of calmness, a state of stillness. So when we love the journeys of others, for example, in that grocery store example, as much as we love our journey, then we will make room for their journeys as well. And because because we are making room for their journey, we are not irritated with people as if they're in our way, and we will enjoy ourselves, which is really the whole point of wanting to get things done, right? So it's a way of effectively finding a peaceful state while allowing others to interact with us, right? We don't want to get into the habit of saying that we want peacefulness by avoiding others. That's not peacefulness. That is because we're not at peace with the actions of others. And that can eat us up as time goes by. There was something I wanted to talk about with seeking, oh, I know what it is. It's about love and balanced love, really understanding what it is. You know, we only know imbalanced love from the beginning. We think, if we love junk food but hate healthy food, that we think that's love. Or we love, one thing over another thing. We see that's love. These things we don't like, right? But ask yourself, what would love look like if you loved all things equally? For example, if you loved, instead of one woman, you loved all women equally, what does that look like? To love all women is to be at peace with them, right? So balanced love is peace. Imbalanced love is to love one thing over another, right? And that has its place, I guess, in some ways. I mean, we are making choices in the material world, but we want to make as few imbalanced choices as we need to make. Even eating is a form of imbalance. It's needed, but it's a form of imbalanced love. We move out of the state of peacefulness into the need to action by becoming unbalanced. And in that imbalance, we go out and eat. We pull from the earth the things that we need. But every time we do that, we are actually dominating the planet in a way. We're dominating something when we're eating, right? We're dominating plants, we're dominating animals. And this is not unallowed. We should show respect for these things. And that we should dominate the planet in the least possible way. To eat simply and then let it go. To live simply and then let things go. And then once we're done with our needs so simply, to spend our time and our energy caring for the planet, loving others, right? Imagine one person doing this, another person doing this, another person doing this, finally all people doing this, choosing sparingly what they need from this planet, and then letting go all their needs, and then using their energy to help others. This is how we change the world. This is how we rebuild the planet. This is how we show love to all things, which is peace. Right? Anyways, that's enough for today. I don't want to overwhelm everybody all the time with these thinkings, but something to think about. If you have any questions, give me a ring there or leave me a message at the bottom. And feel free to subscribe if you're finding some joy or some benefit from this. Again, thank you very much. I appreciate it and love you all. Namaste.